So we're just going to do a couple of pages today about rates of pay. Okay, so warm-up questions as usual. So first one, Marcy worked from 4:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. How many hours would that be? 4.5. So obviously, you can always subtract the final time from the initial time or the beginning. So obviously, she worked for. Now you can write 4.5 in two ways. You can write 4.5 if you want, or you can write it as 4-1/2. 4. Let me zoom in so you can see clearly. All right, so 4 and maybe 1/2 like this. Remember when we did mixed fractions? That exactly looks like it. 4.5. Yes. So 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours. You have to say hours because it could be 4.5, something else, days, whatever. All right. Sure. Okay. Second question. Connor earns $9. What does that mean? /H. So exactly. So per hour. So you can say per hour. Per hour. You don't have to write it if you know it, just in case it's a new notation to you. So $9 every hour they work or he works. So he worked 6.5 hours yesterday. How much did he earn? The easiest way to do any question like that is multiply how much he gets every hour by how many hours he worked. So we can say what? We can say it doesn't matter which one you multiply first. I like to multiply the time first. $58.50. That's how much they earn in these 6.5 hours of work. Now, this one, which I'm also surprised how many people sometimes, don't know or confuse some of these. Does anyone know how many weeks in a year? No, 7 days a week. 7 days a week. How many weeks in a full year? Who knows that number? Raise your hand if you know it. Well, Brooklyn, what do you want to say? 50? Okay, hold on a second. Is it exactly 52? Why not? No, no, no. It's no. 52 weeks is not exactly a full year. Look, everyone, check this out. You said 52, right? So 52. Actually, not much. How many days per week? All right. 52 times 7. Let's see if you think 52 weeks are in a year times 7 days a week. How much is that? 52 times 7. 360. How many days in a year? 360. So that means if you think, everyone, if you think that a year is 52 weeks, you're almost there. You're just off by how many days? So can we still say that a year is 52 weeks? That's the whole idea. And by the way, my pay schedule as a teacher is based on 52 weeks a year, even though it's what? It's what? 1 day less. But you know what? 1 out of 365, that's not a bad guess. Okay? So it's actually 52. So we're just always gonna say 52. Go ahead, everyone. 52. I never want you to think it's 52 and a day. Just think it's 52. Okay. How many months in a year? 12. Hours in a day? 24. That's why they say 24/7. How many days in January? Okay, so also remember it's 52. 52 weeks in a full year. Okay. Okay, a CFL player, what does CFL stand for? Canadian Football League instead of the NFL, which is the National Football League in the States. So a CFL player has an annual. What does annual mean? These words are important to know in this unit. Say again. Yearly. Annual mean you make this much or you do this much a year. So everyone, let's go with what Lorcan, exactly the way he said. He said yearly. So let's say yearly, or you can say per year. Yearly. So that player makes a yearly salary of 305,000. They make a space for us to put the comma, I guess. So go ahead, put the comma here, everyone. Comma, not a dot. Okay. So they make how much per year? $305,000. Okay. Now you. By the way, one of the points of this unit is, so how much does he make a week? How much does he make a month? How much he makes an hour? you can always, divide by more and more to see how much he makes for less and less and less time. But that's not the point of the question. The point of this question is the player donates. What does donate mean? You give or receive? You give what fraction? 1/8 of his 305,000 to charity. How much would that be in actual money? Well, first of all, we're going to convert that decimal, sorry, not that decimal, that fraction to what? We can convert it to a percentage if you like. Or we can convert right now to a what? To a decimal. So go ahead, everyone. 1/8 is, let's divide and see what we get. Good news is it's a nice decimal. It's a small decimal, like it's not an infinite one. There we go. 0.125. Go ahead. 0.125. So I want you to rewrite this in a way this way. He gives, everyone write it down. He gives 12.5%. 1/8 is actually 12.5% because it's based on this number. So 12.5% to charity. So the question now is, how much of the money would that actually be? So let me squeeze this a little bit. There we go. So how much would that be? That would be multiply the 0.125 by this much, by this number. Okay, let's multiply. So he gives, and let's multiply. 0.125 times, put the dollar sign please because it's money, 305, comma, 0, 0, 0. That's going to be a huge amount. 1/8 of $300,000 is quite the sum of money. Times 305, 0, 0, 0. Oh, too many zeros. Too many. That would be 3 million. Okay? So how much would that be? Yeah? There you go. Every year, or at least that year, he gave 3,800,000. Sorry, 3,800,000 and $125 to charity. So that means 38, comma. I never take marks off if you don't do the comma. It just makes the numbers easier to look at and to count and to write. So 1, 2, 5. All right, let's actually do the new questions for today. New questions for today. Okay, everyone, we're gonna skip all this. There's no need to cross it out. It's still just telling you how do you plug in numbers in your calculator. So you can keep it and look at it after. I have my own ways sometimes that I show you through the calculator right here. All right. Okay, everyone, second page. Flip the page. So Selena has a part-time job. Part-time job. She earns $9 per hour. $9 per hour. That's, by the way less than the minimum wage now. The minimum wage now has actually made it to, actually it depends if you're a student or not a student. I think if you're now a student, it's up to, I heard the just changed over Christmas to $14.75. $14.75. This book was printed way before, I think, like at least 10, 12 years ago. So that's why the number is quite lower than now. But you know what? The principle is the same. She earns $9 per hour. 1 week. So apparently she works 5 days a week, or maybe no, she works 4 days a week. Why? Because apparently she worked 4 hours, and then she worked 4.5, and then she worked 5, and then she worked 4.5. So the first thing is calculate her total hours this week. Okay, that's not too bad. We can just add those two numbers together. Now you can add them the way they look, or make every half a 0.5. I think I'm gonna go for that. So 4 plus 4.5 or 0.5 plus 5 plus 4.5. How much is that? Well, I have a habit of always doing it's. Oh yeah, I have a habit of making it easy for myself. How? By doing the decimal ones by themselves. So I know that 4.5 plus 4.5 is what? Is 9. And then it becomes easy to add the full numbers to it. So those two are 9. And then 5 would be 14. And then another 4 would be a total of 18 hours that week. So I want you to write 18. And I know it said hours, but you still have to use units in your answer. So 18. You can write HR or hours. By the way, most people write hours or small hr in small letters, like lowercase. I have a habit of doing uppercase. Okay, so how much will she earn during those 18 hours? How'd you go that? How'd you get that? What operation did you do? That's the whole thing. Yep, exactly. I just want to hear the word time. You multiplied, right? Yeah, that's it. And I always multiply the hours first. I don't know. I always do hours times money. Let me actually write it properly, everyone. I'm gonna write not just 9. I'm gonna write $9 per hour. So $9/hour. I'm not gonna take most of if you just put 9, but please remember to put at the end. I don't want someone to do this. You can't do 2 per hours at the same time. You've already decided how much she gets paid per hour. This is how much she collected in the entire week based on this number of hours. So please make sure you never put per hour twice in any question. Yeah, that's it. So I want you to write whole week. Everyone write whole week. Just to emphasize that oh, sorry, this is not the per hour. Okay? Obviously, getting paid $162 per hour would be pretty sweet. I'm pretty sure there are people who get paid that much per hour, but they work a very small number of hours. I mean, no one's going to keep those people working for like 52 weeks a year earning that much. You know what? Actually, everyone, what if you actually earn $162 an hour and you work what? By the way, how much is a full time? How much is a full time job? How many hours a week? I think the standard is 40. Sorry, 8 hours a day times 5 days a week. So that means, okay, everyone, look. So how much do you get paid an hour? 160. So everyone, 162. That's per what? 1 hour. How many hours in a day you work? Let's say 8. Look, look. If you get paid $162 an hour and you just work 8 hours a day, in that day you got paid, or you earned at least. You've officially collected 1,296. Okay, and that's one day. How many days do you work a week? Let's say just what? You take a 2-day weekend. So times 5. Yeah. My dad works every Saturday. Yep, he's a walk-in clinic. He works 4 hours every Saturday from 10 to 2. He chooses to. He chooses to. Because there are so many, so many kids in the city. He's a pediatrician. Imagine, in one week, you got 6,480. Obviously, what's the minimum number of vacation weeks per year? 2. 2 weeks at least. So that means you work how many weeks? 50, right? It's 52 weeks. You've already took 2 weeks for vacation. So let's say you work the entirety of the 50. So times, everyone, look, times 50 weeks. You're ready to see how much you can make in a year if you get 162 an hour working full time? Almost a third of a million. Almost a third. A third of a million would be 333,333. You are getting paid $324,000 a year. Yeah. But again, what kind of a job? It needs someone to be paid $162 an hour. Maybe a super dangerous job. No one wants to do it, but it needs to be done. But obviously, it's probably seasonal, so not every day. So I guess very dangerous environments, like a volcano or something. Okay, all right, let's go back to this question. Okay, come on. You might get a question like that on a quiz or a test. So here's a table. Selena worked from 4:30 to 9. How many hours is that? 4.5, because 4 only gets you to 8:30. You still have to add another half hour. So 4.5. Let's write it 4.5 like this. How about 3 to 9? How about 4:30 to 9? How about this one? Everyone, 10:30 in the morning, that's what AM means, to 3:30 in the afternoon. Does anyone know how we do military time? It might make this question what? Easier. Do you know how we do military time? Yeah, anything PM, you add it to what? What's noon? 12. So what's, so that's 15.5. So that minus that is exactly what? 5. From 10:30 to 15:30, that is what? That is 5 hours. What's the total? 20 hours total during that specific week. So how much will she earn during that week? I think she's still getting paid the $9. Yeah, nothing has changed. Yep, still $9. So she gets paid 20 hours times $9 for every hour. $80 in the whole week. Again, that's a different week than the first week we uh, looked at. What does the word average mean? You're a student. You're all students. You always what? At some point, you always are concerned. What's my average? What's my average? What's my average? You're gonna be asking me that probably in 5 weeks when I share the first progress report with you. What's my average? Okay. When, yeah, but how do you calculate it? Well, the easy. Everyone, look at the screen. The easiest way to calculate average is when you have only how many things? Two things. Like you did two tests, for example. Two tests. You did the two tests, and then you got a mark in each one. What's your average in both tests? Couldn't be easier. What do you just do? What do you just do? You add and then you divide by. What if you did three tests? What do? You add the three tests and then you divide by. That's the key. You always divide by the number of the things that you did or that go into the mix. Okay, so that's not too bad. Average pay is earning for week 1 plus earning for week 2. So what's this? Well, obviously, BEDMAS tells you, not even BEDMAS. You can look. You have to finish the top level first. So let's add 162 to 180. 342 indeed. So you have to write equals 342. That's what she earned in both weeks. But we're looking for the average. So we divide by 2. And that means she got an average of, that's 171. Now, did she actually get $171 in either week? No. She got 180 in 1 week, and she got how much in the other week? Everyone, always remember, your average does not mean it's something that happened. It just means it's something that you could assume will always happen. So for example, think about it this way. Let's say that you did 5 tests in this course, and listen up, and your average in all tests was 83%. What does that mean? What marks could you get? Well, some of your marks must be higher than what? 83, and some of them must be what? But average means what? It's a value somewhere in the middle. At least one thing is higher, and at least what? One thing is lower. That's always the case, which is exactly this. The first week was lower than her average. The second week was higher than her average. No way that the average is lower than both or higher than both. It's always somewhere in the middle. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle, somewhere in the middle. So somewhere lower than the highest and higher than the lowest. Okay? So I want you just to write a small conclusion here. She can assume, she can plan ahead, traveling and expensive, assuming that somewhere hovering around 171 is her weekly pay. So I want you to write what she can. Go ahead. She can assume, or if she's filling some paperwork and they ask for approximate weekly pay, she is not saying anything wrong if she writes what? How much? 171, because that's her average. She did calculate. By the way, usually she would not just base it on 2 weeks. She would work maybe for 10 weeks or 5 months. And then she says, let me actually get a true average. Maybe those 2 weeks were good. Maybe those 2 weeks were bad. Always spread it over what? Like a good chunk of time. So she can assume that every week, go ahead, everyone, every week, she makes, I'm not going to say 171, I'm going to say about 171. Or you can say what? Can you do this? Everyone, you can say the word about, or sorry, write the word about, or do this squiggly line. All right, that's the meaning of the word average. Sadly, many teachers just teach average without telling you what it means. That's exactly what it means. It's something that could happen, and you are okay and safe assuming it could happen every single time. Okay, let's do this quick because we have 7 minutes. I just want to do this over 2 minutes with you, and then we're done. So, calculate Tony's yearly pay. Okay, how much is he making per week? Come on, how much? Every week, he makes 160. And apparently, Tony's working for how many weeks? Tony's not taking any vacation. 160, everyone? 160. That makes sense. 8,000. How much? $320 based on that 160 a week. Okay, round what he gets to the nearest $100. Does anyone remember how do we round to 100? Come on. How many zeros does 100 have? 2, which means, everyone, let's review real quick here. If it has 2 zeros, that means, what do? You count from the right and you place your cutting line right here. Okay, does the 2 do anything to the 3 or keep it the same? So that means if they want us to round his salary to the nearest $100, he could fill in the paperwork as if he's getting paid 8,300, which means he is basically saying that he's getting paid $20 less. 8,320 is closer to 8,300 than 8,400. Okay, use this value to approximately calculate how much he gets every month. Okay, how many months in a year? 12. And how much is he getting paid every year? What did we round it to? What did we round his yearly pay to? 8,300. So we're going to use 8,300. Again, we could have used the accurate 8,320, but they want use this value. Okay, use this value. Sure. Divided by 12. I have no idea how much that is. Let's see. Did you get a decimal? Yeah, that makes sense. Most of 691, 66666, whatever. What does this round to? So it's 691, but will it be 0.66 or 67? 67, because that 6 in the blue, the first one in the blue, is going around this first 6 outside to 7. Perfect. So he's getting paid, or he should expect that his monthly stub should say 691 point what? 0.67. So he should expect to be hovering around $691.67 every month. Every month. Okay. His car insurance is 1/30th of what he pays. Sorry, what he gets. So what do? We have to round this one. So we have to make this 130 a decimal. Well, that's easy. 1 divided by 30 is all of those threes. So let's say 130 equals 0.033. So go ahead, 0.033 times how much he's paying every year? 8,300. So how much is he gonna have to pay for his car insurance? Well, let's see, 0.033 times not 691. That's the month. 8,300. Insurance 273.90. I don't think I paid that much, and I've gotten into a couple of accidents in my life. Now, one important thing is that how do I jump between week, year, and month? Okay? Okay, I want you to actually do something on top here that will make it much easier for you. So, let's start with the middle one. What's the middle one, everyone? What's the middle one? Year. Everyone, if I want to go from year to what? To month, how many months in a year? So that means if you know how much, look, if you know how much you're making in a year, like this number, for example, don't do anything. If you know you're making this much in a full year, and you just want to know how much you're making a month, you need to divide by 12. So I want you to do this. Look, I want you to point this way and say divide by what? What did we say by? By 12, because there are 12 months in a year. So can someone tell me how would I go the other way? What if I know how much I'm making per month and I want to know how much I'm making per year? What's the opposite of dividing by 12? Exactly. So another thing you can do is that point the opposite way, and now you have to do the what we call reverse operation times 12. Okay. Let's do the years and the weeks now. How many weeks in a year? The magic number, 52. Same thing. If I want to go from the long time, which is a year, to a short time of weeks, I need to divide by 52. So divide by 52. By the way, just so you know, everyone, just a quick note here. Everyone, look, I don't always have to give you the table weeks and then years and then what? I could give you a week and then what? And then I could basically mix them anyway. As long as you have this chart, you know how to jump between years and months or years and weeks. Don't ever jump from between one and what? I will tell you why, because it's a very common mistake. Okay, can someone tell me now the reverse operation here? Multiply, exactly. So times 52. Okay, so let's actually since we have, everyone, since we have three numbers already worked out for us, let's actually check that these operations do work out. Okay, here's my machine. Okay, so let's check which one. Okay, let's check that if you make how much? 114 every what? Let's see if you actually end up making 5,928 in 52 of those weeks. So 114 in a single week. A week. You do. Perfect. Okay. One day, much more for you. Don't worry. Okay. How about we check? Oh, by the way, if this worked, is this going to work as well? 100%. So there's no need to check both the multiply and the divide. Okay. Let's now check between those two numbers. So let's say I want to go between, or I want to start with the months and go into the years. So 494 times what? Times 12 months a year. All is good. Okay, so let's fill the table. And then, everyone, I'm going to tell you why you should not really ever jump between months all the way to what? To what? Weeks. Always go through the years. I'll tell you why. Okay, so let's do the first row. So what do I have in the first row? Apparently, the only thing I'm given is what? The what? 225, and that's the what? The what? Weekly. So the first thing, I'm going to go from weeks to years. Well, if I'm making 225 a week, I will multiply it by 52 weeks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure whatever you got must be correct. Let me just check. 225 times 52. So that would be 11,700. Go ahead. I'll do it in green because we know it. 11,700. Okay. Now since this is a 0. Now since I know the year, I need to what? Go to months. Well, now that means I have to divide by 12. So without changing this number, it's already saved in the memory. Divide by 12. By the way, you might get decimals now. That's absolutely fine. Apparently not for this one. Exactly a month, you will be making $975. Okay, let's go to the next one. Years. Well, I could choose to go this way first, look, or this way second, or this way first. Doesn't matter. So let's say we do the month first. So if 15,000 a year divided by 12 months, 15,000 divided by 12, that's going to be actually a very good non-decimal number. 1,000, sorry, 1,000, comma, 250 bucks. How about here? Well, instead of dividing by only 12, I've got more weeks in a year. It's 52. So 1,500, 15,000, I mean, divide by 52. 28. Okay, now we have to cut it somewhere. Obviously, we cut after two decimals because that's how many cents you can break it down. So 288 and 40. 40 what? 40 what? Because the 1 does not do anything to the 6. It's not one of the ones that bumps it up. So that would be $288.46. Okay. By the way, you see that B, C, and D give you all the possible ways I could ask you this question. Here they gave you the weekly and they expect you to fill the rest. Here they gave you the yearly and they expect you to do the rest. Here now I'm going to give you the monthly and expect you to do the rest. So now, how would you go from monthly to yearly? What do you do? It tells you. What do you do? Exactly, because you are adding up 12 months together. Yes, sure. Oh, I divide by 52 because there are 52 divisions to a year week-wise. So that's how much you actually get. By the way, how can you check? You can get this one multiplied by 52. Now, mind you, you're not going to get exactly what? 15,000. Why? Because you slightly rounded. Look. Yeah, but come on. I mean, you're 8 cents short. That's practically 15 grand. Okay. All right. So let's do this to 720. If I'm going from here to here, not all the way here. Nope. Just to here. I will have to multiply by 12. So 720 times 12, 8,640. 8,000, comma, 640. And now if I'm going this way, I'm going to actually have to divide by 52. Remember, the year is always the biggest, which obviously makes sense. So anything from a year, you need to divide. So since I have this number here, no need to retype it. Just divide by 52. So how much per week? Sorry, how much? Yeah, how much per week would you make? You would be making 166 and 153. No, just 15 because the 3 does not do anything. So everyone, 166, 166 point 15, 15 cents. Yeah. Okay. Okay. How many months a year? 12. So what are they? Well, January. Let me just get that thicker. Yep. January, February, March, April, another May, June, 2 J's, August, September, October, November. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Everyone, let's come on. Let's put the numbers of the days. 31, 28, or depending. 31 again. 30, 31 again. 30. We end the year always. June ends exactly on 30. 31. So, by the way, look, goes up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. No, August is also what? 31. And then we do the same pattern again. Down, up, down, up. You're asking me a question that's been already designed for, well, I guess 2,000 and 22 years. So come on, I was not consulted. Okay. Here's my question, everyone. Many people say, and it's a common misconception, is that you get paid like let's say $200 a week. How much per month? Oh, well, and then they say this. Look, oh, a month is 4 weeks. Think about it, everyone. They're saying that a month is how long? How long? Let me actually prove to you that that's wrong in two ways. Everyone, look at the screen. How many days is 4 weeks? How many exact days is 4 weeks? No, 4 weeks. 7, 7, 7. How many? 28. So check this out. If you're claiming, everyone, eyes on the screen. If you're claiming that a month is what? 4 weeks. Well, that means what? Out of January, you're losing how many days? Because we said that 4 weeks is how many days? 20, 28. January is already how many days? 31. So you are already losing how many days in January? 3 days, right? You're off by 3 days because you just claimed that a month is 4 weeks. Sorry, 4 weeks is only 28 days. That means you're what? You're stealing 3 days from January. How many days are you stealing from February? Well, either no days or at least what? 1 day. So let's say, worst case, you steal 1 day. Or sorry, not steal, you're off by 1 day. Again, 31 is what? 3, 30, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So let's see actually, if you claim, or if you even believe that a month is 4 weeks, how many days of the year are you actually losing with that belief. Well, let's add them up. All of these days add up to what? 3 plus 1. Come on with me. 3 plus 1. 4 plus 3. 7. 7 plus 2. 9 plus 3. 12 plus 2. 14. We're already 2 weeks off. Plus 3. 17 plus 3. 20. 22. 25. You're off by how many days? You're off by a month. Do you see what I mean? You're off by a month. Here's one way to that's one way to prove that a month is not what? A month is not 4 weeks. I'll prove to you another way. You're saying, everyone, look, listen up. You're saying that a month is 4 weeks, right? How many months in a year? 12. So if you're saying, look, everyone, if you're saying that a month is 4 weeks and you have 12 months in a year, how many weeks would that be? 12 times 4. What's 12 times 4? Look, everyone, 12 times 4. Uh, no, wait. 48. Listen, 48 weeks. We said that a year is how many weeks? 50. How many weeks am I losing? I'm losing 4 weeks. So you can never think. I don't care how much approximation you want to do or how easy you want to make your calculation. Never think that a month is how long? For what? 4 weeks. If you want to really think a month in terms of weeks, you have to say that a month, look everyone, you have to say that a month, check this out. I'm willing to make you live with this. Not 4 weeks, but I'm willing to live with this. Look, although you still should not do it. Look, how many? A month could be 4.5 weeks. Let's actually check. Everyone, look, let's multiply 12 months by what now? By how much? Okay, let's see how closer we get to 52, because we need to get to 52 weeks. We got to what? Why? Because by the way, 4.5 weeks, everyone listen up. Eyes on me. 4.5 weeks is 31 days and a half. Is there ever a month longer than 31 days? That's why you overshot it. So what should you say? Okay, if it's not 4 weeks, and if it's not 4.5, what should I say? Maybe like 4 weeks and a third? Do you see how confusing it's already getting? And there is no point. You could say, okay, look everyone, I'm gonna say that a month is not 4.5. I'm gonna say a 4 4 and how much? Come on, 4 and 1/3, which is 4.33333 forever. Look everyone, eyes on the screen. Let's multiply 12 months by 4.33333 forever. Okay, let's see how closer to 52 we get. Ooh, almost what? Almost what? But almost what? Almost 52. Which means what? The best approximation is that 1 month is equal to how many weeks? 4 and a third, which basically means 28 days and 2 days more, which means what? 30, 31ish. Yeah. Why? Never think that anyway. Everyone, cross it out. All the discussion I made now is to prove to you that don't think of a month as 4 weeks or even 4 and a third. Just go between. The year is always the what? The year is always the most important one. Look, the year has no mistakes. A year is 52 weeks and a year is 12. Do not care about jumping between here and here. So I want you to write one conclusion here, everyone. I know we crossed it out. Everyone, let's write this. Remember. By the way, this is basically what this is saying. I earn 285 a week. There are 4 weeks in a month. Go ahead, cross this one like this. No. Remember, a month is not 4 weeks. Big, huge mistake.